Okay. Maybe you understand the reference going on over here. I didn't actually title this slide, but if you have any concept, this might even be outdated for you guys. I'm not sure. This is from a movie uh, based off of a book, which used to be popular amongst adolescents, I believe, and middle school children, called Holes, and it was about kids in a uh, some sort of like juvenile detention program. I don't know. I've never even watched it, but anyway, and they just dig holes out in the middle of nowhere. So this slide is going to talk about holes in the graph. Okay. Now in the previous video, we talked about vertical asymptotes, and we said that in order to find vertical asymptotes, we had to factor the numerator and denominator because some of the zeros in the denominator might cancel from time to time, and we would not count those as vertical asymptotes. Okay, so what do we do with those? Good question, right? Same idea applies to holes. I'm not going to put, um, let's see, sorry about that. That's the minus. I'm not going to write down the procedure again. We do want to factor the numerator and denominator, okay? And the common factor that cancels, okay, this zero that canceled out of here, we said in the domain, for the domain, we said that x cannot equal 4 and it cannot equal -4 because that would produce 0 in the denominator. So this is our domain from this, right? All real numbers, x cannot equal 4 or -4. And then we said, but these factors cancel, which meant that x equals 4 is a vertical asymptote, right? So what do we do with this factor? Because we're not allowed to plug in the number -4, right? This is the 0, right? That's getting canceled out with this factor. Okay, so what does that mean? I still can't plug this number in. I can't put a -4 here. If I put a -4 here, I get 16 minus 16, which is 0, right? But the simplified form of this function, after I cancel that common factor, is 2x minus 5 over x minus 4. And again, if we look at the graph of this, we only see the one vertical asymptote at +4. So what's happening at -4, right? You can see from here it says -4 undefined. And if you notice, if you get in here real close, okay, let's see if I can get in here real close. As we're, oops, sorry, that's too close, my bad. As we're approaching, you can see here highlighted by this red circle, okay, that all of those are points. They all have y coordinates. Then we get to here and it opens up, right? So now it's a circle instead of a dot, and then we keep going, and those are all red dots. That's a red circle, okay? At that circle, we have an undefined value. That's our hole in the graph, okay? So we're still not allowed to use the number -4. Even though I could use it in the simplified function, I'm not allowed to use it in the original function. So long story short, any factor, well, let's say any 0 of the denominator, and the denominator we explain as d of x, right? That's how we say numerator is n of x, the denominator is d of x. Any 0 of d of x that is canceled in this process of simplifying is a hole. Okay. Now the question becomes, where exactly is that hole? Okay, to find the exact placement, all right, and we'll add this here to find the placement of the hole, like what the y coordinate would have been. We know it's undefined at -4. To find the exact placement of the hole, we take that x coordinate of where the hole would be, and we plug it into the simplified form of the function. So you may want to write this down. I'm not going to write this down for you. You can write this down. You can pause it and write it down. But to figure out where the hole would have been, like what the y coordinate should have been for this, we can plug -4 in here. We get -8 minus 5 over -8, which is -13 over -8, which is 1.625. Okay, positive 1.625. So if you go back and look at this graph, okay, at -4, look at the y coordinates, 1.608. Here's me approaching -4, 1.618, 1.619, 1.62, 1.621, 22, 23, 24. And then when we get to 1.625, that's a round. Okay. Where's 4? Get in there. Boom, undefined. Okay. So our holes in the graph are the y value, or excuse me, are the x values that get canceled. Okay. To find the actual y coordinate or the placement of that point, we plug that x value of the hole into the simplified function. All right. So again, just to reiterate, we have to find the domain first. Then whatever we cancel, that x value is a hole in the graph. Whatever x value remains, that's a vertical asymptote. All right.